catch it with my, try to catch it with my, catch it with my. This surely was a good sign, despite of everything I saw. It's slowing down time, changing all the laws. Try to catch it with my hands, so that I can take it home. Hoping I can keep it when I'm dead, when we go. Try to catch it with my, catch it with my, try to catch it with my. Sometimes fast and sometimes slow, they are falling to the ground. Dance around circles, and I catch them with my mouth. It softens all the noises, it softens all the things. Everything is wild. So I'll kiss you with my hand, try to hold and make it stay. In the end it melts away. Try to catch it with my, so I'll catch it with my hand, try to hold and make it stay. In the end it melts away.
Hey everybody, sorry about the long intro. I actually got my mic knocked out again by Windows. It seems there's a problem where it occasionally gets knocked out whenever I restart my system. But thanks for being here. Hi Marie F, Fish, Mary, Gigi, Nolabu, Lindsay, Fresh Flowers, Edna Online, Jack T, Smelly Cat, The Rob, Hope Flows, R. Brownstein, Jackie H, Smelly Cat once again, and everybody else. Hi there, Edna. Long time no see. Beaker, what's up? Felicity, hi there. Welcome to part two. I had to break it up because I had to be on DC Media Girls Attic podcast talking about smear campaign. So if you missed it, you can. I'll put the link in, or if Mary could do that. But you know what? I'll do that. I'll put it in. If Mary can do that as well, that'll be great. But I was just on there. We had a conversation of what can happen to you within this girl world, and yeah, take a look at it if you did miss it. But we're gonna continue. Let me share my screen. We're gonna do part two of Peetz's Mince and Tatties second attempt. He did a good job this time. Not so great. The I guess the mince, the celery, the carrots, and the onions need to be finely chopped. He didn't do that. I think he's afraid of getting cut by the knife. If you don't know, he has a phobia of sharp objects such as needles, and he has a phobia of tiny holes. There's actually it's specific names for those that I can't really think of right now, but we're gonna get into it. Let's go. Well, by the way, Natter's court date is adjourned or continued until January the 18th, another Wednesday. So, January the 18th is his next court date. He is not locked up, he's still free. And yeah, we shall see what happens with him. I'm sure he's gonna be probably on later tonight. We shall see. Were you there, Beaker? But welcome to the chat, by the way. Welcome everybody. Even if you don't participate and you just listen, I appreciate it. Let's go.
Any moose? No, I never see moose in Ottawa. No.
Moose in Ottawa? Yeah. When's the last time they ever saw moose in Ottawa? Let me check. You can probably see it maybe South Ottawa. Let me check. Oh, only online? Okay. There's the Okay, there are moose um in the Petawawa Research Forest.
Hey, Alyssa.
Algonquin Park. There's moose there. There should be moose also.
Yeah, I was supposed to cooking. Sorry, Leah.
Oh, wow, okay. You could have seen
Keep that
moose on
covered.
the Queensway
Hey,
as
country
well.
chickens.
Yes, thank you, Edna. That is it. Thank you so much for putting that out there, Edna.
Making kitty videos, cookies would be a nice video. Probably would, actually. Like I said, something for me to consider.
I think people were experiencing trypophobia of some sorts with a phone. Was it the iPhone, I think? Yes, by the water park. Yes, you know which water park I'm talking about. That one if you take the 417. Exactly, Beaker.
Hey, sons. I've had 17 membership cancellations so far. Cookies would be super easy. Yeah, like I said, something for me to consider.
Thank you, Fresh Flowers. I appreciate it. We did see that he has 10 comic book cases filled to the brim with comic books. Probably holds maybe, I don't know, how much comic books did you put in there? It depends on how he's organizing them. And we did see his bed. He does need to change or clean his sheets. We did not see his bathroom, but my guess is his bathroom is probably a mess considering he has never mopped a floor in his life. How can you have a bathroom, a personal bathroom that nobody else cleans, but you've never mopped the floor in your life? Come on now. Can you imagine? I cannot imagine not cleaning my bathroom for more than a week. It's going to be filthy, much less 2.5 years of never cleaning the floors. Are you kidding me? That bathroom is a mess. I could never live like that. Oh, and I've seen some nasty bathrooms. I've seen bathrooms where everything is brown in there, like literally brown, because they don't clean the bowl or the toilet. It was
Guys make
disgustingly
cookies just to
filthy.
eat the dough sometimes. They use a sock or towel if I ran into. I don't know. I don't know what I'd do if I had ran out of toilet paper.
Use your hands. Well, it seems Peetz is not gonna run out of toilet paper anytime soon. Just telling you, because I saw his package of toilet paper strangely closer to his bed than the bathroom, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean, right? It's closer to his bed than the bathroom. What does that tell you?
Can I make a dessert soon? I don't know.
Do you smell what I'm cooking?
One thing to bear in mind is I'm not actually all that keen on cookies for the most part.
Facts, fresh
I do
flowers.
kind of like sugar cookies. My mom always made some pretty good sugar cookies. Best Final Fantasy game. I mean, the only two I've completed are 3 and 4. I am enjoying 6 right now. I'm like halfway through 6, I guess.
Cool.
I would think maybe halfway through 6, and I'm enjoying that one.
Right, Beaker? If you're a guy, you might miss a few times, and you got to clean the bathroom. So I'm still saying he's literally said he's never mopped a floor in his life. The bathroom has tiles on the floor. It's very filthy after a few days. Even with minimal use, it's going to be dirty. You got to clean. He hasn't cleaned in 2.5 years. Something's going on.
And when I watched I watched Let's Plays of some of the others. 7 Remake. Watching the Let's Play of 7 Remake, that one was really good. And
why isn't he in prison? As in nada? Well, he has a lawyer, and they haven't remanded him into custody. So that's really up to the judge. I'm sure the Crown, the prosecutor, aka the Crown, can make a request, but they feel there's no reason to remand him into custody. So he has been getting away with being free with what I would consider a serious charge.
I do like 9. Like the art style of it and everything.
Yeah, he needs to stop playing with the nose.
I don't know. Never finished 7. Yeah, I never played any of 7. 9 is supposed to be the best of the 90s. I don't know. Andor, no, I haven't watched Andor. 8 is underrated. I don't know about that. 8 had some shit that like just sort of made me roll my eyes, honestly. 7 Remake was amazing, yeah.
Right, fresh flowers.
They reimagined it rather than just redoing the graphics, yeah. Yeah, they definitely did a really good job making it different.
What? GGS is saying, I saw on Twitter that the judge said there's no criminal investigation in the file. Something is wrong? Really? In terms of Nad's ongoing matters with the court? Oh boy, now I really got to look into this.
Like I said, I haven't played 7. Like, I never played 7. I haven't watched a Let's Play of 7. Just 7 Remake. But they did seem to make some really good changes to it. High School Fantasy. I was in high school when I played part of Final Fantasy VIII, and it just like, Whereas this is Supermarket. It's about a 15-minute walk.
Wow.
About Disney, but it's not Disney. Kingdom Hearts, Jenna. You're thinking of Kingdom Hearts. FF9 is so charming. Yeah, that one does seem just really charming.
Right, Gigi? Something is going on.
Like Final Fantasy VIII, I don't know. Even more than most games, elements of Final Fantasy VIII, there are some elements of the story that felt contrived in like a kind of shitty way, like in a kind of lazy way. When does New Kingdom Hearts come out? Soon, I think. So yeah, I don't know. There were elements of Final Fantasy VIII story that just felt...
Okay, we're going forward.
The Captive Curse. The Haunted Carousel. Danger by Design. Danger on Deception Island. Ghost of Thornton Hall. Warnings at Waverly Academy. Curse of Blackmore Manor. So Blackmore Manor is the one that you think I should play.
I mean, his voice is actually not bad. I could really listen to Peetz's voice read a story, but the type of stories he'd be reading me, I wouldn't like. So I don't know. Like, and this isn't the first time I've said Peetz has a pretty good voice. Remember when he read that one book? I forgot what the title is, but somebody gave it to him, and people were like, "Hey, he has a pretty good voice when reading. His inflections are on point. His cadence is good." I'm like, "Yeah, he does." Hey, Deb. He lost 17 members. It's probably because those were gifted. So that happens where you lose a considerable amount of people won't renew each month. Sometimes people skip. Sometimes people's cards don't work. Sometimes people take a month break. It happens. You shouldn't be too worried. It's only 17 of 400 plus. That is less than 5%.
Adventures? Yeah.
Less than 5% is actually really, really low. So I don't see why he's so worried.
So you want to know a big reason I'm not all that interested in playing a Nancy Drew game?
Yeah, tell us.
I didn't grow up on the books. The only Nancy Drew experience I have is the comic series from a couple years back. The game's just not going to be like the comic.
FB's 400 plus? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nancy Drew.
Hardy Boys are better.
And Hardy Boys. Those were very competitive book series back in the day.
Chrissy? I don't know. I haven't watched any of her stuff. Carolyn Keene, the author, was she?
What is on his face? A beard? What do you mean what's on his face? What else is supposed to be on his face? The look of disgust.
Yeah, I'm not interested in playing a Nancy Drew game, I don't think.
Yeah, because he'll play...
right. Bye, Lenny.
What does he play? He'll play something date. What's it called again? Validate.
Yeah,
yes.
Intel hasn't said Carolyn Keene is a pen name. It's really a man.
There's brown smears above his beard. Is there brown smears? I'll look more carefully next time, Miss Hellraiser.
Okay, yeah. So created by a male publisher and then ghostwritten by a number of authors. Dwarves can carry double-handed weapons in D&D. As far as I know, I've never played D&D, Camyon.
Sup,
So I don't
Dan
know.
Woods? All right. Those look like frown marks with nothing else. I don't know. Just frown marks. His face. His face is on his face, right? But yeah, those look like just frown marks to me. Doesn't look like anything else.
Fingers. I'm not really much for puzzles, honestly. I'm not much of a puzzle person.
It could be, I don't know, dermatitis neglecta. If you don't know what that is, I'll put it in the chat. That could also be the case. Peetz looks crusty. He kind of does look crusty. Does he? I don't know. He doesn't strike me as the type of guy that will, if he showers, to like wash his face. You know how you do that? Some people when they shower, you wash your face as well. I don't know. Kind of strikes me. You think he's gonna lose more?
Anyways,
Yeah, maybe. Peace looks like he could be in a metal band.
give me a second.
Peace looks like he could be in Guar, but Guar for ponies, like Poir, or like Pony Guar. Poir, get it? Yeah, maybe he should start a band called Poir. Hey, American Girl, what's up? Yeah, a lot of people do have that issue.
Yeah. This is the Nancy Drew that I know.
Is that? What is that? Okay. He always does Ho Flows. It's supposed to be a Q&A type of thing, is what he always does. He can do a rendition on My Little Pony, but with heavy metal.
My biggest pet peeve? I don't know. Funny. Emma Roberts is Nancy Drew. Yeah, it is. I absolutely fucking love Jen St. Ange's art.
Okay.
Like, this is just such good art.
I mean, I don't know what to say to that. Okay, we're going forward. Yeah, you should know Snatches you, Peetz. Let's go.
Early Peach art. I would love to have some of her art. I would love to own some of her art.
I saw on John Oliver a bit on police interrogation techniques, and they used a scene from My Little Pony. No, they didn't. You're making this up.
Like original art by her. because she is so fucking good. Like, she is just mind-blowing. Before I stopped buying comics, I did get her Demon Days. Like that first Demon Days mini that she did. I did luckily get that shortly before I stopped being able to get comics. Find you on Discord. I don't know. Like, I don't really have any interest in Discord, honestly. Don't worry about it.
Right. Hey, Catacorn.
Yes, I did eat dinner, Kira.
I need Peetz to start acting like Chantel before the Kuwait arc.
Yeah, she's incredible. Like I said, like I always look at the Marvel solicits just to see what variant covers that she's done that month, just because they're always gorgeous.
We should tell him that all those comic books were written.
What I had for dinner? Mince and Tatties.
You know what? I wish this were true, Lynn Smith, but he actually knows a lot about his comic books. He even probably chooses his comic books based on solely the artists and writers.
I do hope that she
So
starts
he would
doing
know.
some creator-owned stuff soon. If you were in a zombie apocalypse, what are 3 things you'd bring with you to keep entertained?
Comic
If I were in a
book,
zombie apocalypse, I'd be dead pretty fast. I would not
which is
last
true.
long.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hope Peach Momoko like does like some creator-owned stuff soon.
Right, Peace in like a zombie apocalypse will be the guy that goes and then the zombie just gets him. That's what he would go like. He'd put his arms
Or at
up.
least gets away from the big two. You know, even if she just does some shit for like fucking dynamite, you know? We'll see one-off watercolors that need a new home.
Peace is the type of guy in the zombie apocalypse to call 911 while he's ACAB. Remember that? He's ACAB. He's 1312.
Yeah, like even if she just does something at friggin' Dynamite, I'd love to see her get away from the big two, from Marvel and DC, so that I could start buying her work again. I'm going to be watching Chainsaw Man. I am not, but I do know that Jen Bartel is watching it and loving it because she posted she did some fan art of it.
Nice. I watched Chainsaw Man. It was hyped. Chainsaw Man has been hyped for about 2 years from when I took notice. I'm like, why is everybody hyping up this Chainsaw Man? And then I have been watching it. I watched the latest episode yesterday.
All my comics friends are DC Marvel. I'm pretty sure she'll post it online herself soon enough. So,
AT girl,
yeah,
what's
some
up?
Jen Bartel fan art from has been by me at Disney, but DC Marvel.
Yeah, that by the way, this character is called the Blood Fiend. Originally the Blood Devil, but she's a Blood Fiend right now. I like this character in Chainsaw Man.
They brought out Marvel and Star Wars, yeah, and
Right, Jack T?
I have no idea who this character is, but
Blood Fiend.
Yeah, Jen Bartel is amazing. Again, one of the best. Will it be a fave to grab of Peach? I don't really know.
Are you serious? That's funny, Oranges Porranges. I think I did look it up, and I think I found that scene. So you were saying it was right. So they put a scene where a little pony was interrogating someone, bad cop style. Exactly, Jack T. It's Power of the Blood Fiend.
Is she done a Ms. Marvel? She's drawn Ms. Marvel, right?
Oh yes, where is Leanie Bow being lately?
Hey, she did variant covers for a set of Ooh, that Champions variant is really nice. Teletubbies, no. 8x8 piece by each of a dead schoolgirl in her dining room. Nice. This Marvel and Spider-Gwen, nice.
All right, let's go forward.
So I'd like her to make some comics that I can actually buy. Also, creator, just post industry. So I've met a bunch of peeps. Cool. What do I think of Tim Burton? I have not watched Wednesday yet myself. Honestly, I would describe Tim Burton as a bit uneven. You know, like he did some pretty amazing movies. Jenny Ortega.
Oh, thank you.
She seems cool. Jenny Ortega seems like a cool girl. But yeah, like Tim Burton, like he did like Edward Scissorhands and Batman, and he did like a couple other Beetlejuice. So he did like some really awesome shows back in the 80s and early 90s. But then he sort of, I don't know, Planet of the Apes and Willy Wonka. And didn't he do that Alice in Wonderland movie?
Smash that like bunny, everybody.
Like Big Fish was still a good movie, but I mean, it was...
Yeah, Peetz Late at Night is good, right? You can listen to him when you're trying to go to bed. Perfect.
Sweeney Todd. I did enjoy Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd was good. I liked it.
But even so, I feel like he did end up... Said Blackfield in for this aesthetic. Yeah, Kira, that was fucking stupid thing for him to say. Like, that's a fucking stupid and offensive thing to say.
I also like Les Miserables.
Like, people don't fit my aesthetic. Fuck off, Tim. I will say this. When you're doing a movie about suburbia...
He's back on Johnny Depp, right?
Black characters are villains. I mean, yeah, like... In the first Batman movie, he had Harvey Dent, and he was black. He didn't become Two-Face, but, you know... Harvey Dent does, you know, so yeah. But like, when you're making a movie about suburbia,
Peetz and the Krusty Sock Factory. Yes. Hey Mary, what's up? Is that hot Lacoste? It is Lacoste.
It does kind of make sense, not to have black people.
What?
Because...
Wait a second. What did he say? All right, let's go. Let's hear it again.
Yeah. Harvey Dent does, you know, so yeah. But like,
okay, yeah, tell me.
When you're making a movie about suburbia, it does kind of make sense, not to have black people.
Why?
Because like because suburbia is very, very much a white thing.
What?
There are black people who live in suburbia. Absolutely. There are suburban black people. But the suburbs were created by white people running from black people.
Are you
That's
serious?
where the suburbs come from.
Are you serious right now?
The suburbs were created by white people.
What?
As a way of putting distance between them and the black people who were moving into the cities.
And nobody actually clipped this section of Peetz's stream and put it anywhere after he literally is saying something that is super racist right now. Are you serious? This is the woke social justice warrior is talking like this right now, so nonchalantly about this.
There's no like, and like that's just fact. Like that's like there's no one even argues with that. That's just the way it is. That's just the reason suburbs came about. So
that's not fact.
Yes, there are tons of Black people who live in suburbs. Tons of Black people who live in suburbs. But suburbia is a white creation. It is a white thing. So if you're going to make a movie about suburbia,
because Black people don't live in the suburbs, right? Because right now we don't have any Black people or any BIPOC person in the suburbs. No Black Indigenous person of color in the suburbs right now. And by the way, the suburbs, I will say that to an extent there was racial fears, because whenever an area does have certain types of people, there are other people due to their racial fears. It's the racial fear that is the factor, not because it's the person or people of color. It's the racial fear. It's the fear that many times is extremely, extremely not right and very unwarranted. But other factors are affordable housing and the desire to leave decaying cities. Right, Felicity? So he's blaming it in on Black people. Once again, I don't know what is with Peetz and Black people, but remember how we talked about Black women and their level of testosterone is higher? And now we have him nonchalantly talking about white people running from Black people, so that's why suburbia was created. How about the factor of affordable housing, Peetz? How about the factor of leaving decaying cities? How about that?
Kind of makes sense to just fill it with a bunch of boring looking white people, you know?
Right, Rob? I won't say that it's not a thing that there were white families that would leave certain areas because of the racial fear. As once again, it's the racial fear that is actually a thing, but there's a multitude of factors why any family would leave a big city. But he's making it seem like it's one thing when it's a multitude of other factors to this.
Unless you're, making a comment on racial politics, in which case, it's a different movie. But so for that, I can understand. But like,
hey, Beantown Girl.
I don't know.
Exactly, Don's Hug Box.
So for Edward Scissorhands and for Beetlejuice.
And it also depends on the culture. Can I also say that? Because in some cultures, you would actually get closer to the downtown core. Because in North American Western culture, it's the wealthier you are, the further away from the city you move. But in other cultures, the wealthier you are, the closer to downtown you move. So it also has, you also got to factor that in.
The whiteness of the cast did actually fit the story. Edward Scissorhands and Beetlejuice sort of required white leads, white casts.
No, it didn't. No. It didn't require. You're talking about Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice didn't require a white cast. He didn't. Hey, Shara.
Blind casting like Hamilton. I mean, it varies. But you move on. Like, Batman does not need to have an all-white cast. Or what are some other movies he did? Big Fish probably didn't really need to be all white. Yeah.
Right. One Small Moose.
Big Fish was not about suburbia the way that Edward Scissorhands was. Batman was. So I mean, that one, No, black people don't fit your aesthetic. No, you're just being a fucking racist, Tim. There's absolutely nothing about Big Fish
Right, Rob?
where black people wouldn't have fit in. Sweeney Todd, black people absolutely would have fit into Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
Because black people did live in London back in the 19th century.
Okay, Peetz.
So yeah, Tim Burton is racist, I think.
Okay.
Like, I think that it's probably safe to assume that Tim Burton is kind of racist. My West Side Thug,
right,
no.
Jackie G.
Do I think Pete Davidson is a handsome man? I don't know. Not particularly.
I still can't believe nobody really took offense to this until now.
And also, while we're on the subject of Tim Burton did not direct Nightmare Before Christmas. Tim Burton produced that movie, but Henry Selick was the director of that movie. It is a Henry Selick film, no matter fucking what the goddamn poster says. Whiteness kind of makes sense with how terrified all these tan folk are in his movies with anything that's different from them.
Okay, I've been hearing in the news that Tim Burton is being called racist because of his portrayal of black characters as bullies, and a lot of news sites keep referencing Wednesday. You know, that new Netflix series? Yeah, this is why they're saying Tim Burton is a racist because of Wednesday. Remember, the mayor's son is a bully in Wednesday, as well as the siren. She's a bully as well, and guess what? They're both black. So this is why Tim Burton's been getting a lot of heat and a lot of articles talking about Tim Burton's Netflix series Wednesday, and a lot of articles are slamming him for being racist.
Sure, MG. And like I said, for some of the movies, yes. For others, that's not as much a thing. For some movies, the whiteness doesn't really matter as much. Love Danny Elfman. Yeah, Danny Elfman's really good. I always like Danny Elfman. I always enjoy Danny Elfman's music.
Right, Pete's Mouse Skeet's bullshit. Exactly.
I don't know. Gotta know what, Xander.
I did see Wednesday. It was good. I watched it a couple days ago. Well, actually, I was watching two things at the same time because that's what I do. So I had Wednesday on, plus I had 90 Day Fiance, and also 1,000 Pound Sisters as a refresher on at the same time. I watched Wednesday, and it was good. I liked it. Even though, yeah, the bully characters were all black people for the most part. But I didn't really pick up on that until I saw these articles. And is it a spurious correlation? I'm not even sure. Because there were other bully characters and they weren't black.
No, I'm not a West Side Thug. I've never lived on the west side of anything.
You sure about that, Peetz? Right, Smelly Cat? Oh, how? I get used to it. I'm used to watching multiple things at the same time, so I have dual screens. So what I'll do is I'll watch two movies at the same time, plus I'll write. so it helps me with time. Hey, Rado. He's a no thug, not a West Side thug, a no thug, no mo thug.
I do live in East Ottawa, but I live in East Ottawa.
In the suburbs, of all
But
things.
when I lived in Cornwall, I was sort of like wasn't really east or west. I was more central.
Downtown?
I live in the west side, but that's because it's cold here and I reject heat.
I wonder where in Cornwall he was. If he's saying more central, interesting. I mean, if you're talking about...
I've never been to PEI, no, Katie Ann. Wouldn't mind visiting PEI, but...
He's a dirty villa gangsta. He is a dirty villa gangsta. Better clean that bathroom floor, Peetz. Clean that bathroom floor.
Bagged milk? We do have bagged milk, yeah. Yeah, we have bagged milk in Canada.
I see, Smelly Cat. Yeah, we do have bagged milk.
Yeah.
I heard that that's weird for some people, like putting milk in bags. But we still do it.
Wanted the graphic novel. There's no way I could read that. Because fuck Mark Millar's edgelord bullshit. We have bagged milk in Chicago.
That's different.
Super mean-spirited. Yeah. Like, that's... Mean-spirited seems to be just, in general, Millar's writing style. Like, he just seems generally mean-spirited. You worked with Miller? And I'm sure he's a lovely guy. Like, I'm sure Millar's a lovely guy. Like, I've heard that he's like a really nice guy. But his comics always really do seem downright mean-spirited.
Wonder what comics Zach Miller is
and
about.
Just like so much edgelordy bullshit. Like throwing in rapes for the sake of rape. And it's like,
what?
Fuck, dude, back the fuck off.
Yikes.
Not as bad as Garth fucking Enos.
It's odd. Wouldn't it be easier to puncture the milk? I guess so, but you could have milk in a box and you could drop it and it could still, spill out.
But
bagged boxed wine is better than
Miller.
bagged
I
milk.
just have no interest in I've read I've read a couple of Miller things. Never read Wanted, but I've read about Wanted. Like I read a description of Wanted. Didn't make me interested in watching it or in reading. Didn't give me any interest in reading it. One of the new Halloween movies, like what a few years back, at a rape in the psych ward. Yeah. Most of the time, rape is lazy storytelling, I feel.
Okay, we're gonna go forward. We don't want to hear that word. And
it was an incredible run. I don't think I've read any of Frank Miller's other comics. And I don't really have much interest in reading any of his other comics. I remember the webcomic Short Packed. Short Pack did a comic, a comic about Frank Miller.
So it seems the 10 best Frank Miller comic books are Big Guy and Rusty, The Boy Robot. Okay, I know about that. 300, Ronin, Sin City, Martha Washington, Daredevil, Batman, Wolverine. And what's the top 2? Okay, I didn't know Frank Miller was this involved. I love Sin City. Sin City is amazing to me. But what else is there? Daredevil again, Born Again, and The Dark Knight Returns. Oh. He is really into the good stuff. Okay.
He was held in a room and told to write a story that doesn't feature is like told to write a story that doesn't feature horrors or something like that. And like right off the bat, and like W H horrors.
Yeah, Frank Miller did do 300.
Let's see if I can find it.
You have to find the right one. Most box wine is trash, but not all. True.
Right, yeah. So
Wasn't Foodie hated unboxed wine at one point? All right, he's showing us. Okay. So this is it. Sin
it's
City Circus.
fortunate that you made it here in one piece, Frank Miller. But here's the deal. Write a story with a female character who is not a prostitute, and you leave here alive. W H O horse. So yeah, Frank Miller, not someone I have a terrible amount of interest in. Need to do voice acting. Yeah, I keep forgetting to look into it. I read graphic novels, but they mainly like Japanese and Korean drama.
Yeah, I think box wine isn't that bad.
See, I just I like positive comics. How do I feel about Chantal getting a new home herself? Whatever. I should read Anathema by Neil Stevenson or Anthony Andrew Tate. I've heard of him. I know nothing about him. But yeah, like I like comics that are positive and comic creators who are positive. So the likes of Frank Miller, Mark Millar, Garth fucking Ennis, I really don't enjoy them. Because there's such a cynicism to them that doesn't work for me.
Okay, we're gonna move on, Peetz.
They've raised enough that they've actually gone and given the people who worked on the original Smut Peddler anthology a decade ago are actually going to be getting paid. Only comic I've ever read is Tank Girl. I tried reading a Tank Girl comic once. The comic is not for me. Liked the movie. The comic, no, not for me. The Iron Circus is great. Fantastic publisher. Everything they put out is good reading. So highly recommend checking out the Smut Peddler and Smut Peddler presents My Monster Girlfriend.
What is this about?
Which has a story by Meredith McLaren, one of my favorite creators ever, one of my favorite cartoonists ever.
Does anybody know about Smut Peddler? It says that it's from Iron Circus Comics, and it's NSFW. So then, what the hell, Peetz? It's during my work hour. And Smut Peddler is an erotica anthology edited by C. Spike Trotman. An erotica anthology? I've never even heard about this. Okay. Reviving a series of mini comics from the early 2000s as trade length books, all stories have at least one woman contributing. Oh, okay. I mean, it doesn't sound like something I want to read.
Had the sudden vaguest memory of
being in a
bookstore picking up a graphic novel, but I have no idea what it was. I mean, there's a lot out there, Jenna. So yeah, there's still like a day left. I think there's there's still a little over a day left to back that on BackerKit. Not on Kickstarter, but on BackerKit. Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. That one I never read.
I've heard about Tank Girl, but I actually haven't read Tank Girl. I'm sure Myriad would know. Do you know about Tank Girl? Like, what is it about? I keep hearing about
I
Tank Girl,
mean,
and it's pretty
Iron
good.
Circus does pretty regularly put their back shit on sale as well.
Smut Peddlers is jerky material?
And they don't just do smut.
I guess so, because he said he used to jerk it to the Sears catalog back in the day. The Sears catalog! Yes, I said it. Peetz literally said he used to jerk it to the Sears catalog. Well, he said, well, you know what I mean. Tank Girl was a great movie? Okay.
Smut Peddler was sort of how they got their start. Like Smut Peddler was one of the early successes for them. I think Poorcraft was their the first book they put out. And Smut Peddler came pretty early on. But they put out a ton of other stuff.
The sock section? Nobody was at the sock section.
Iron Circus did a collected edition of the webcomic Girls with Slingshots, which was a really good webcomic and very popular. Iron Circus put out a collected edition for it, which was pretty good get for them, honestly.
Yeah. Kayla, the Sears catalog. You said it. I didn't. All right, dead ear Pete's, come on.
I don't think they have any of it available. Hey, Jenna. I don't think they have any more copies of that one available. It was a very limited run, and it was like a really expensive one to do because it is a big ass volume. So I don't think they have any more copies of the Girls with Slingshot collection still there. But you can always, the comic is still available online. So am I getting anything for Christmas? No idea.
Oh.
I didn't even give my mom a list or anything like that. She asked me, and I was like, I don't know, books.
Okay.
I don't know. There's nothing I even particularly want. Like, there's nothing I can think of that I want. Aside from books.
Well, he does want a new computer. That's another thing. Although he already has a new computer, that's still not a year old. And he was warned repeatedly to not get a computer with 8 gigs of RAM if it's a PC. If it's a Mac, it's different. Because Macs are just different setups, if you would call it.
Always books.
He wants a woman? He does. I would think so.
Hey, Maria.
Give him Foodie Beauty wrapped up. Foodie Beauty's already wrapped up.
Just want the Christmas spirit.
And coming home soon.
So she'll be heading up the liquor store for you then?
For sure. I do hope he sees his family over the holidays, but I do worry about the cats. I'm glad he's not going on Christmas Day because no one is driving him. Maybe Aunt Phyllis can offer to drive up and get him and then drive him back. That would be a nice gesture. That would be really nice, but alas, some people don't want to do that, even over the holidays. And the holidays are forgiven. Or maybe Chantel will be home by then.
Christmas spirit is what I usually get my brother. bottle of whiskey. I always get my brother a bottle of whiskey. Christmas spirit. It's what, 20% spirits? Older than me? Yes, he is. He's older than I am. Yeah. Yeah. I think I usually go with Glenfiddich. I think it's usually Glenfiddich I go with.
Okay. Maybe oranges, oranges. Maybe
Because
she
that
is.
one's
Who knows?
a pretty reasonably high quality Scotch as far as what's available in Canada, or as far as what's easily available in Canada, as far as what you can get at, as far as what you can just get at the LCBO. Glenfiddich is generally pretty high quality.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up.
Good old LCBO.
Glenfiddich. Okay.
Baker's 46 is nice.
Well, it seems Glenfiddich is actually pretty good. Let me check. How much is it at the LCBO? Single malt Scotch, Glenfiddich. Did he say Scotch or did he say whiskey?
Local ones in South Carolina. It's expensive. Yeah, for like.
Oh, it is pretty expensive.
For higher quality shit, I would probably need to like go like specialty stores or have it shipped in.
I was about to say Scotch isn't whiskey, but then again, Peetz isn't a drinker, so I don't really expect him to really know the difference between Scotch and whiskey.
I just go to LCBO. Like I just go to the liquor store, the LCBO. So like the finest Scotch that they have is basically the Glenfiddich. Hey, Purple. I have done no Christmas shopping.
Yeah, I thought he said both.
Hey, Kara. I suspect we just call it the liquor store here. When Virginia was called the ABC store. Everyone always ends up hating me, and I don't know why. What should I do? Kill them. Kill them all. Thanks, Purple. Yeah, for the Christmas shopping, it'll probably be right after Christmas that I go visit my mom. So I'll probably do my Christmas shopping a couple days before Christmas. Like what I'm thinking is I'll wait until I get my pay. Not necessarily because I'm strapped for cash, but because I'm always paranoid about being strapped for cash.
Oh, really?
So I'll wait until I get my pay for this month, and then I'll hit up a couple places to get stuff from my mom and my brother.
Okay, well, hopefully he gets them something like really nice. People in the chat are saying like Scotch is whiskey.
I think I suck, but if I come off like I'm great, people seem to agree.
And Core is like Scotch is whiskey produced and bottled in Scotland. Yeah.
Fake it till you make it.
Scotch is whiskey without the E, right? You gotta look at if it has an E in it because bourbon is whiskey, whereas Scotch is whiskey. So bourbon is whiskey with the E because there's bourbon whiskey with the E is made in America, while Scotch whiskey without the E is made in Scotland, but there is a way to differentiate whiskey from Scotch because Scotch is made from water and malted barley, while whiskey is distilled from a combination of grains like barley, wheat, rye, and corn. So, bourbon whiskey with an E is from America because bourbon is whiskey with the E, but scotch is whiskey without the E. Hopefully, everybody has been clarified.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how much money I get this month. Common complaint is that I'm quiet and I don't smile much, but a nice person. Yeah, I mean, I understand that. In groups, I tend to be quiet and don't smile much.
Right, Arado, exactly.
Get to see how much money on the 8th of the month. Not sure about that.
He can see how much money he's made. It's in his studio. Plus, you could always check it at his AdSense account. You'll stick to
Not
your
sure what it
line.
actually tells me. Like it's right now, it's giving me an estimate. Speaking of cash, I found out the situation I told you about turned out to be a misunderstanding. Things are good. Did delete my Twitter though because it's just fair enough on that. Very glad that things are looking up for you. Very glad things are looking up for you, MG. That's great to hear.
Yes, exactly, Errado.
Yeah, my estimate for this month is actually like
2K.
$2,000.
Ooh,
So
see,
that's gonna
I
be
knew it.
so nice.
See, I called you. Remember, I called you. I'm like, Pete's probably made about $2,000 that will be available for to him come December 22nd, and I was right. I'm like, yeah, $2,000, better than the 300 he used to
Also
make.
lost all of my Twitter data. Thought I deactivated the account, but apparently it's deleted. Oh darn, MG. When you were young, what did you want to grow up to be? At one point I wanted to be a psychologist. Favorite lice streamer. Lice streamer amuses me.
Hey, Vicky.
Should have put aside for taxes. Yeah, I know.
Right, QZ? He's getting 2K. That's a huge paycheck. If he does get himself a new computer, I mean, I guess he could. Hopefully, he gets something with a lot more RAM. Maybe he should get like a really good computer, maybe 32 gigs of RAM or something. Me too, Karma Cafe.
Went to school for social work. Changed my major senior year. Yeah, when I was young, I wanted to be a psychologist, and then by high school, I was like, you know what? Librarian. I want to be a librarian.
We need to figure if he has to move soon. Yeah, he
Then
does.
I went to college for a library technician degree or diploma. Feels very therapeutic when you're not raging. Thanks.
Right, Karma's
Want to be a
Cafe.
writer, even wrote 3 books never published. I mean, that's how you become a writer, is just keep writing. Eventually you learn how to write something that's worth publishing. When I was a teenager, I kind of like, hey, I could write a fantasy series. No, I couldn't.
Right, Smelly
Hey,
Cat.
Nashi King. And then like by
He should maybe go back to school, but he doesn't want to. So that librarian job is out of the question, Peetz.
easily self-publish. Yeah. Fantasy is hard to write, like horror is kind of hard to write. I mean, for as far as like genres being hard to write, I think it depends on the person. Like fantasy is probably super easy for some people to write. Friend who didn't end up writing their fantasy series, but they made a map of the world and used it in D&D campaigns, and it was amazing. Cool. And then, like in my late 20s, Zodiac Academy. I have not read Zodiac Academy. Yeah, in my late 20s, I started writing a shitty superhero story. Not something that I ever intended to actually
Really?
like publish. It was posted online, but that's sort of different from actually publishing. Like it wasn't something that I ever intended to monetize because I knew it was not going to be good enough. Did I write like similar to a comic book? I mean, a lot of it was kind of an X-Men knockoff. I wasn't writing it like a comic book script, but it was a superhero story. Prose.
Okay.
Like
I wonder if he still has this.
It was never going to be good. It wasn't bad, but it was never going to be good because I was never going to put in the effort to edit it. Like that was the big problem with it. Like it was just,
Has anyone seen Floridia Mapolita? Yeah, I believe I saw her yesterday. Was the last time I saw her. If it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before.
Write a chapter, post it. Write a chapter, post it.
Nowadays, people can do that, like write chapters, write anything you want. As long as it's good and you have a lot of people, a lot of eyes looking at it, it can be successful and you can make money from it. Because back in the day, you could make money from your art, you could get patrons, and then for a few decades you couldn't unless you were like really up there and you had connections. But nowadays, with the advancements of technology and social media, you can be an artist again, where you could write, you can draw, you can animate. You could do that on TikTok, you could do it on Facebook, you could do it on YouTube, and you can get paid. You can even do it on Instagram. You get enough Instagram followers, you can monetize your Instagram.
So like it was like that's all it was. That's all it was. No editing meant that it was not going to actually be good. Decent writing style. I feel like I've got a pretty decent writing style. But
write a fish. There's a lot of people who will make videos of them drawing something like a time lapse and it makes money.
I lack patience and ambition. So mine Goodreads. I have an account, but I don't go on Goodreads anymore. Like I don't use Goodreads anymore. I've got an account on there still, but I don't use it. Would I support a universal? Yes. I would absolutely support universal basic income.
Oh,
100%.
Okay. A lot of people support that. That there should be an income for everybody to survive on.
I feel like universal basic income would actually be a great way of solving a lot of other problems, honestly. Would improve healthcare. One thing I feel like one thing that universal basic income does is it gives people an opportunity to leave jobs that they
You don't
don't
like. Mm-hmm.
You know, like that's PO box. I don't have a PO box yet. Count me on. Hey, undesirables, undesirable, universal income, universal basic income. Basically, it's everybody gets a certain amount of money each month.
Right, and
Like everybody in the country, everybody in the country just gets a certain base income every month. No strings attached. You know, this isn't welfare. It's not unemployment benefits. It's not something that they have to apply for. It's not something that is means tested. There's no drug testing. Nothing is livable. Depends on who's proposing it. The proposition is generally for a livable universal basic income. Are we reliant on the government?
who's funding this?
I mean,
Well, the citizens would
I
be
would
funding
argue
it.
no. I would argue that it actually improves self-reliance or increases, or like, then you work to make more. Exactly. You work to make more. Or, you know, or you just fucking use that basic income to support you while you do something you're passionate about. You can work to absolutely, yeah. I mean, most people would continue to have regular jobs. Yeah, most people would continue to work just their regular jobs. Some people would quit their jobs to focus on something they're passionate about.
Right, Nikki D?
To focus on, say, art.
He wants to get paid to not work. Well, there's good and bad with that, because then, as he said, there will be people that will be able to leave jobs that they don't like. Because typically in a job that you don't like, there's a tendency for some people to not work as well as they would with jobs that they do like. And I must say, there are actually quite a few countries that have tried UBI, which is Universal Basic Income. Like United States has actually tried it. There have been several programs in the spirit of basic income. The most notable one is the Alaska Permanent Fund, where every citizen is given a share of America's oil and gas revenues amounting to between $1,000 to $2,000. The results of the program had no effect on employment, but had an effect on fertility by encouraging people to have more kids. Well, then, Canada tried it as well. Brazil did. In 2004, they tried it with the Bolsa Familia, it was known as. Finland tried it. Namibia tried it. India tried it as well. And I think Sweden may have tried it. I have to look that up.
Or, you know, having that basic income means that they might feel more comfortable taking risks, starting their own business.
Also, a program was tried in North Carolina where every member was getting between $4,000 to $6,000 a year. So that means practically up to $500 a month. Let me get this right. Yeah, 500. So 375. Yeah, 375 to $500 a month guaranteed. The results showed from this North Carolina study that it led to improved mental health and improved education and did not discourage people from working. Okay, so the Alaska project encouraged people to have more kids and did not affect employment. And the North Carolina one actually had an improvement on mental health and also did not discourage people from working. So there you go.
Rather than just feeling like they're stuck working at a job they hate because they make just enough to pay the bills and get, some level of medical benefits. How would that work for the whole economy? I mean, like I said, it's just some people continue to work the jobs they hate for this
Very true, Erado.
the sake of security. Some people leave the jobs they hate in order to do something riskier. She could go back to pastry arts, but I make literally double what I made doing that. Yeah. Yeah, and like a universal basic income, you're like, because you have that amount that you can rely on, it means that you can be like, you know what? Fuck this job. I'm going back to selling pastries. May not make as much, but I'll be happy. And I'll still be able to survive.
Right, Nickety, he should be searching for a job before Chantal cuts him off. Exactly. Herwa
My coworker
Vultra.
leave our job to become a tattoo artist. Good for them.
It would be interesting to see where Peetz would be a year from now, because last year around this time it wasn't good for him. He was in a bad state of mind. He's a lot better now. He's not that great, but he's a lot better. It'd be interesting what happens or what comes December 2023. It sounds like the stimulus checks we got during lockdown. Well, those stimulus checks were spent by some people in a very wasteful kind of way. I heard people were buying like designer bags, practically designer goods with their monies. I'm like, really?
Let us know. I still have not got a job yet, Cleo. No. Hey, Auntie. Or Audie. Hey, Fawn.
Isn't the apartment on the piece's name? It is, Kyla.
For Christmas. Go live.
Nikki D says, do you have a rough estimate of Chantel's income since she's been in Kuwait? I would say not anywhere close to what she was making before. I would say it's been halved, so anywhere from like 3 to 5K, I would say.
And
that's just my estimate.
Shortly after Christmas, I will visit my mom, probably like the 27th or 28th, sometime around there. Go down for a day, come back the next day. Let I hear about pastries singing. Somebody else was saying that they hate their job, but they make double what they made selling pastries.
Right, got the clock.
Start Chantel's card too. Yeah, I'll do that in a couple more days. Leave some milk for Santa Claus? No. Hey, Xander. Holly. How are you doing that? I've done it exactly once so far since you left. Don't have any passions, don't have any talents, don't have any hobbies. Indeed, MG, I am in the same boat. I am basically in the same boat as you, MG. No passions, no talents, no hobbies.
Right, exactly, Arado. She's making a lot less. She is. But that's her choices.
Lurkers are welcome, Kendra.
So we'll see what happens with all of that.
Job? Yeah. Is she coming home? She actually doesn't have a specific date in mind right now, Gigi. Like, I don't want to give any details away, but she doesn't have a specific date set at the moment that she will be coming back. I work, go to school.
Hey, Susie Side.
You go to school? Yeah.
Yeah, I heard like the PPP fraud was really bad during lockdown. Well, good luck with that new video, Karma Cafe.
There isn't to give details exactly. Anime is my passion. Whenever the visa thing expires.
Truly.
Obviously, she will need to come back by the time the visa expires. Star Trek and comics and books passions. I mean, they're things. I do love Star Trek, and I do love comics. Speaking of Star Trek, is this week the season? Is this week the season finale of Prodigy? 80s OVA anime with violence is best.
Right, Kayla?
Oh, no, okay. Not the finale yet. 3 more episodes. Want to go to Cuba so bad. Love the white sand beaches, the people in the bisect. 3 more episodes. One of those episodes being 3 more episodes.
Karma Cafe said, why won't he finish his degree? He can do it online because he just doesn't want to. That's why. He really just doesn't want to, which is super sad when you think about it, because he complains about not getting the job he wants, but he won't go to school to get the job he wants. Make it make sense.
Or 3 more weeks. Or 4, I guess. No, 3.
Nikki D, he says, is getting 2K.
No, 3 or 4.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah, so 4 more weeks of Star Trek Prodigy. Is Castro still running Cuba? A Castro is, I think. Raul? Is it still Raul? Is it still Raul Castro? So yeah, 4 more episodes of Star Trek Prodigy.
Doesn't Canada pay for education?
No, it looks like it's Miguel Diaz-Canel. Miguel Diaz-Canel is the current president.
I know Ontario used to pay for education for a few years, but then it's back to people paying for their own education.
Of Cuba. I'm just taking a look here. Oh, wow.
Hey, Sonny Bizzle.
All right. So yeah.
Is it true Chantel can apply for a permanent visa because her back taxes? I know her taxes are gonna affect the emigration of her husband to Canada, but I'm not sure if it affects her visa status in Kuwait.
Raul Castro, Fidel's brother, retired back in April of 2021.
For sure, Susan.
Yeah, they've hey, NASA Jen. So yeah, there's no there isn't actually a Castro in charge of Cuba anymore. I don't even remember that. I imagine I probably saw something about that, or maybe not. Yeah, I was unaware of that. 7 of 9 was a full moment. Fidel died. Yes, Fidel died a few years back.
Hey, Ground Smurf, what's up?
And his brother Raul became president instead.
If Chantel intends to live in Canada again, she's gonna have to buy another car. Why? Her car is good right now. It's a 2016. You know, the battery is still actually powering that car.
2016, Fidel died. Fidel died in 2016. His brother took over as president in 2008.
She's gonna need a new battery. Yeah, I still think she needs a new battery.
Yeah. So Raul Castro became president in 2008. Fidel died in 2016. Raul retired in 2021.
We get that, Peetz.
Yeah. Miguel Diaz-Canel is now president of Cuba. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty cool. Why I do not drink. Have I had a fat Tuesday? I'll show you fat on Tuesday. I'm kidding. What I think is 7 9 character. She has a good character. She filled the role of being, a way to explore humanity. Like
facts.
Because Voyager had sort of two characters for that.
Or were the two?
They did already have the Doctor.
Yeah.
I've not started Christmas shopping yet. Yeah, I mean the main reason 7 of 9 was brought in was sex appeal. Yes, I've heard of a rusty trombone. She was mostly brought in as sex appeal. But she also was used as a way of exploring humanity. I liked her.
I just love how he glazed over a rusty trombone. Okay. I like 7 of 9.
My mom and my brother. The heck is a rusty trombone? It's when you lick a guy's asshole while giving a hand job from behind.
Why is he so nonchalant about this?
About the cat's Christmas presents? Not yet.
Love your explanations, Peetz. Love them. But why is it called a rusty trombone, though? I know why it's called a rusty trombone.
Snowballing?
I totally get it.
Isn't snowballing just where you share cum?
Yeah,
or is
that's
that
what
where
I
you like
thought.
to come out of the woman's or out of somebody's?
Why are we talking
eat
about
up a
this?
cream pie. Please buy them something expensive. I'll try to remember to get some catnip toys or something.
His demonstration was class.
That's what I thought, MG. Yeah, that was what I was thinking.
Right?
It was when you just swap it between two mouths. Dirty Sanchez. I forget what a Dirty Sanchez is. Oh, no, I know what a Dirty Sanchez is.
Peetz? Yeah, please explain, Peetz.
When you poop on someone's upper lip.
Spicy.
Laser lights, yes. Laser lights is something I should get. This conversation would send a Victorian child into cardiac arrest. Yeah, kids should not be listening to a conversation like this. That said,
Right? This
you'd
turned
be
real
surprised
fast.
how horny Victorian people were. Like just because just because sex wasn't considered polite to talk about in the Victorian era doesn't mean people weren't still really goddamn horny back then.
Wow.
Seeing Two Girls One. I never watched that video, Anunnaki. No, I never watched Two Girls One Cup. The Victorian Ghost from Beyond the Grave. I agree. Like they were horny. Victorian people in Victorian days were absolutely horny. They fucked.
I see Sunny Bizzle.
Who isn't? I mean,
Right?
yeah, most of human civilization is based on sex. You're saying me?
Late night sex show talk with Peetz, right? And Peetz knows like all these little terminologies and whatnot.
It depends on whether she ends up coming back before Christmas. If she does end up coming back before Christmas, then yes, I imagine she would drive me down to see my family while she visits hers. If she is not back before Christmas, then obviously not going to be an option. Hey, Rara.
Rely on Rasta Auntie. She'll drive you.
Feel like I need to repent.
Rasta Auntie, just, call her up. Be like, hey,
One of the gals from Two Girls Got Dysentery.
drop me off.
Went twice. So it's possible to be a born again virgin. If it is, then I am. If it's possible for your virginity to grow back, then mine has.
They were.
Don't you wish dust just never existed? Yeah.
Roy Karma.
Where's the Holy Trinity? They were here earlier. I guess they left. I think they left. Other shit going on.
I have so many words for Peetz right now.
I am not the most important things in the lives of Plain Cheeseburger, Ashley Lamborghini, or Sofa King.
Right, Mary? He does have a lot of toilet paper, though, in his room, Mary. Tells me everything.
No, I do not consider myself an incel.
Why not?
Church on Tuesday nights in, South praise Jesus and all that. Too many people to terrorize. Oh, I'm barely the most important person in my own life, Jenna. In live for like 3 hours. Indeed. Yeah, it's about time for me to end. Get off here anyway.
The Rob says if you're jacking, you're technically having this sex, really?
Oh, hey, Chibi Chibi.
With yourself?
Bad news. I was just thinking that it's about time to get out, to get off here. Jenna's way more active than Chantil's was earlier. I mean, I think it varies. Yeah. I am getting tired. Hey, Nicole.
Technically, yeah. Well, I guess technically you are. Peace.
Yeah.
He probably is Cornwall.
I'm getting tired, so I'm gonna knock it off here and
look at those joints. You joke about this, but he probably is.
It's my bedtime 5 a.m. It is, Sausage. I'm not going to bed. I'm just tired of being on live. Tired of talking.
Yeah, so time consuming.
So I'll be back on tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll have to decide. Yeah, tomorrow I'll probably show off my comic books. I think tomorrow I'll do like a comic book stream. I'll just like show all the comic books that I've got. I think that's what I'll do tomorrow. And so yeah.
All right, Peetz. See you later. You
Good
started
night.
talking. Can you imagine Pete saying that?
Yelling Eddie.
But
Don't worry about it, Canyon.
he was on for 3 hours though.
Anyway, yeah. So thanks and good night, everybody.
How many viewers does he have? I think at times he has like 40, 50 people in there. And he gets anywhere from like 2 to 300 people. But last night was different though. He didn't get that much because one, a huge reaction channel was live, and then Foodie Beauty was live. And then other reactors were also live when Foodie was live. So it was a thing last night. And that is it for Peetz. And that is it for me for part 2. I will be back for sure, 100% be back for more content. If you're into 90-day stuff, well, check out my 90-day fiance channel. I post there quite regularly, so check it out. Let me give you the link for that. Also, hey, I guess I'll see you guys later. Check out the community tab if you're a member of this channel. Win yourself a prize. And I am out. Thank you so much, everybody. Smash that like button. See you later. Have a good one. And take care of yourselves. Bye bye.